All right, so here's what we're going to talk about. We're going to talk about building your power team, and we're going to take you through the things you need. We're going to talk about the power of, having, CPAs, title companies, bankers, appraisals, and then we're going to go into mentors and the power of having mentors and really how you guys can, take your business to a whole nother level with us. Does that sound cool? Yeah. Are you guys down for that? Yeah. Awesome. Okay, can I have everybody in here? Good, we're in. So here's the first thing we're going to break down as a CPA. How many of you right now have a CPA in your business? Good, you're a CPA? Are you looking for more business? Oh, see that? That was a good answer. No. I only pick and choose who I want. I do not want a whole room of investors running to me at break. Well, I can tell you this, that as your business grows, you're going to absolutely need a bookkeeper, maybe even a CPA. But I suggest that you do have a bookkeeper. My wife has been my bookkeeper from day one, and then obviously as we grew, we brought bookkeepers in and we have CPAs. But I'm going to tell you that you will make a lot of money in this business, okay? And when you make a lot of money, what else do you have? A lot of taxes. And so a good CPA, a good bookkeeper, even though they are not an income generator, they are nothing more than an expense on your book, they can help you decrease your payouts on taxes, okay, if you have a good one. There are things that you have to be clear on because remember, this is a business. You should treat it as a business. You should run it as a business. Anytime you go anywhere, collect receipts, write down what you did. For instance, when I go on vacation, I always set up at least to see 3 or 4 houses and talk to an agent. Why? I took care of business while I was over there, right? So if nothing else, at least I can write off a portion of that trip based on business. Am I right? Yes. So you want to find the right one. Ask for referrals. I'm huge on referral base. That's why I love social media platforms, is because it is nothing more than a referral base, right? It's the highest form of getting your business to grow than anything else. On top of that, you can go to your realtors and your brokers in the area, and I can promise you they probably already know bookkeepers and CPAs that are in the real estate market already, okay? And do you remember them autoresponders? Hey, can you guys hand out Resource CD1 back there? I see if that's paying attention. Yes? Is that a yes? Okay, so they're going to be bringing the Resource CD ones down that you guys get today. These are a Resource CD for you. Resource CD 2 will be tomorrow. Resource CD 4 will be on Sunday. And inside these, if you don't know already or if you have an open jersey at home, I'm just going to give you another one, okay? You have autoresponders already in here, all right? And these autoresponders are built for you to help you build through referral base your teams so that when you send them out, and you load them in, they'll start asking for referrals and help you with your business growth. And then once you build your realtors, and then you ask for mortgage brokers, then you'll have brokers in your team, then you'll email your realtors and your brokers and ask to be referred to CPA. Then they'll refer you a CPA, then you email your realtor, you email your CPA, you email your mortgage broker and ask for a contractor in the area, and guess what? They'll start referring you. And so once you turn this on, it'll literally automate your entire power team. Is that cool? Yeah. All you got to do is set it up in the beginning. Just load them, turn them on, and it'll start generating your power team for you, okay? Title companies. How many of you use title companies in your market right now? How many of you use attorneys? So what do the rest of you use? I'm like, what? Escrow something? Okay, well, you're either a title company or you're with an attorney, so that closes your escrows. And either way, if you're going to find an attorney, we're going to talk about it in a minute, but if you're using a title company, I highly recommend that you will always go to your title companies ahead of time, and you're going to tell them that you need, let me set my timer so I'm on schedule, which never works for me. You're going to sit down and you're going to ask them these questions. Do they work with a demand of funds letter? We're going to talk about on Sunday. Do they work with an assignment of contracts? Do they work with transactional funding? Do they work with quick turn and short sales? And guess what happens when you go to one and they say no? You go to another one. Listen, if I would have listened to the no's that were told to me, you think I'd be where I'm at right now? No. 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 The first title company I ever went to and started talking about demand of funds and assignment of contracts told me it was illegal. That's what they told me. They're like, you can't do that. That's illegal. I said, well, banks do it every day. They said, what are you talking about? I said, have you ever had a mortgage and then a year later got a letter from another mortgage carrier that said your mortgage is now carried by this company? That's called an assignment. They assigned their rights to that to someone else. And then the First American title said, well, we need to check with our attorneys. I said, please, here's all my contracts. So what did I just get? I just got a free look at all my contracts by an attorney, right? And I just sent it all to them, and they came back and they said, yes, we can do a demand of funds. We need to change the verbiage to say this. Yes, we can do an assignment of contract. We need to change the verbiage to do this. Transactional funding we weren't doing at that time, but quick turns and short sales they approved as long as that we had certain verbiage in there that met their attorney's needs, right? That's why you meet with them, and that's why you push them to go talk to their legal counsel, okay? Because they'll tell you no right up front. And then why do most people say no? Because they themselves don't know. So the first answer is no. So you have to go to their people. You've got to push beyond their skill set to see if they're going to work with you or not. Ask for referrals. Also, you can automate this too using the same process we talked about. Bankers are unique in their own mind because because you have the mentality of the big banks who wanted to fund everybody and they all crashed and burned, right? Then you have the mentality of the small community banks in your backyard who didn't fund everybody and still are very thriving businesses to this day, but they're very scarcity when you try to pull money from them. There's a form. Can I get a manual, please? There's a form I want you guys to look at because you have to find out what they want. And you want to interview a lot of them. And they'll bring me one. I want you to look at it in your book too. But this form, because it's kind of like this. Does every bank lend on different criterias? Absolutely. So if one bank is excited about commercial real estate, may they be excited about residential real estate? No. So I want you guys to go to the Documents tab in the back of your book, page 1, page 2, page 3, page 4, page 5, page 6, page 7, page 8, page 9. On page 10, look at page 10, and it doesn't have a page number. You got to count them out. That's my bad. I didn't get everything right. It says questions to ask the lender. All right? And so on this page, this is what we have as an interview sheet as we talk to all of our lenders. Basically, we say, what is your appetite? What are you looking for? And what is the parameters that we can work with you on? Okay? And so this gives us a reference sheet to all the different banks that we talk to. So if I hit a 10 unit, I know which bank to take it to, right? If I'm doing rehab deals, I know which bank to take it to because I've already called them all and asked them what they'll loan money on. Instead of just having one specific bank that I'm trying to push all my deals on and they're telling me no 90% of the time. Find out what they're interested in first, okay? Same thing as buyers. When you guys start looking for cash buyers, you're going to want to be very clear with your cash buyer. What does he want? Right? And then go find what he wants and give it to him. So, and that's something that we do with the banks as well. And you can build a referral base with that also, and you can automate the process by simply using the autoresponders. Real estate lawyer. You're not looking for the big guy. The billboard signs and the big newspaper ads, scrap them, okay? These guys make way too much money, and they're very proud of how much they make per minute, okay? Very proud. Hey, and nothing against them. They've earned that, doctorate or whatever it is they have, and, they have to pay back a large school loan, But I just think that if you will go out and look for a more hungry, aggressive young attorney, you will get more productivity out of it. Yes? Odesk. So I love Odesk. You can go to Odesk and find them as well. One of the things we do is we also use those autoresponders and build referrals. Who in the industry are you working with that is a real estate lawyer that you would recommend to me? Do you think other professionals in your industry know other professionals in your industry? And do you think they're going to refer someone to you that they've heard that, burnt someone? No, they're not. So that's why we do that. You want to talk to title companies. This is a big one. If you're working with a title company, they absolutely know legal counsel in your marketplace. And you can, especially like your brokers or your CPA as well, they know legal counsel also. You want to be able to get on board with them. When I'm in the newspaper looking for an attorney in a new market, do you know how like in the newspaper, under services, they have this little section. They have these little ads that run all the way across. That's typically where I will look for legal counsel because, like in California, my legal counsel in California was $560 an hour. That's how much I had to pay my legal counsel out there. But I had him for a different reason because I was being sued, and I said, I want the best guy out there, right? Average out there was around $300 an hour. Now, can you find them less than that? Yes, you can. But it depends on what you're using them for. If you're going to find a legal counsel just to look at your contracts, look over your process, to make sure that you're legit as a business, you don't need a $300 or $500 an hour attorney. You just need someone that's going to give you a little bit of time and, maybe charge you $100, $150, $200 an hour to look at that. And they're out there, okay? Your other power team that is important as you grow your business is an appraiser, okay? An appraiser is somebody that you want to be friends with because they can absolutely save you a lot of time and energy if you can get on the phone with an appraisal and build a relationship with it and give them to start giving you what we call a desktop appraisal. In the agent industry, they know it as a BPO. But the appraisal will start doing desktop appraisals for you, and you can pay minimum fees on that. You'll have to sign a disclosure with them stating that it's not a legal appraisal. You're not going to hold them to that. It's just an estimate of a desktop and so forth. But they're still educated enough to give you a better idea of the surrounding conditions, markets, because we're a BPO. The average guy who's doing a BPO doesn't even leave his computer. I mean, let's face it, they're getting paid, what, $40, $50 to do it? Do you think they're going to go jump in their car and drive around the neighborhood and burn up $30 in gas? No, they're not. It's just a way for them to stay alive and hope that they get a listing here and there. Where a desktop appraisal or with an appraisal company, they actually give you a little bit more. They're going to tell you, like, what's going on in the community. They're going to tell you, what their conditions that they place on that property and what other houses are doing in that area. And what, they'll even go into like some economic indicators for you as well. Like we use a guy in Huntsville. I mean, this guy he's awesome. I mean, when we get done with him, I got a book that big on a property. You think he's pretty detailed? Yeah, and only half of it is about the property. The other half is about the neighborhood and what's going on and everything else. Is that valuable? Absolutely it is. And you guys should be looking at that kind of stuff. So I suggest that you interview them. And also a good appraiser is going to have pictures in the appraisal and they're going to detail information of the property. They're not... Oh, I thought my phone was going off. I was like, I got to sing. They're not going to just give you a written evaluation. You know what I'm saying? Once you agree to move forward with it.
What's the cost of the desktop appraisal?
Typically, we're going to pay between $75 and $100. So, where an average appraisal is going to cost you somewhere around $300 to $400. So, and is that you? Are you picking on me right now? You knew I was looking at you. I was hearing something over there. Here's the Blue Book. You remember you guys were asking about the Blue Book? Thebluebook.com. So, and I'm not going to promise you that you're going to have this in every state, okay? I do know it's in California. I do know it's in some other markets. I used it when I was doing that deal in California, Northern California. So, but these are some areas. Is like Service Magic. I like Service Magic for not for their credibility on their providers, but for how fast the providers get back to you. For instance, if like when we're doing project, and my wife kind of is my project manager on our properties that we remodel and resell. She'll go to like Service Magic and she'll say, need landscaping on, 1,000 square foot yard. And like within a day, we'll have like 10 landscapers wanting to give us quotes. It's a one-stop shop, right? It makes life easy and you don't have to go around calling all these people. You just send it to them and they send it out all their providers and then you get the calls back. And then you call them out to the house and let them give you quotes on it. And then you take the one you want to work with. And these are some other resources. So when we're talking about a realtor, now let me not offend anyone. How many agents do I have in the room? Oh. I'm gonna be very nice. No, I'm just joking. Listen, 5 years ago, you'd have probably heard me say, never work with an agent, okay? The market has changed. You need an agent on your team right now. You need one because they have access to things that you don't. And they can get you things that you didn't think were out there. So our relationships with our agents are very cut and dry. You either do it our way or you keep doing it your way. It's really easy, you know what I mean? And we don't sneak them into our business, okay? If you blindside an agent with your business model, do you think you're going to piss them off? Absolutely you are. I mean, let's be honest here. When you meet with an agent, we tell them, hey, this is our business model. We make hundreds of offers every month at discounted prices. We buy some, and we have a pool of investors on the ones we don't buy that we will introduce the deal to. Do you want to play? Do you think agent appreciates that? Absolutely. They don't want to get blindsided by you coming in and saying, oh, I want to buy a house this year. And then the next thing you know, you're sending out hundreds of offers and their phone's blowing up. And some are good calls and some are bad calls. What do you think they're going to do? You're ruining my reputation. Well, how many houses did you sell last year? None. Well, what reputation do you have? I mean, let's be honest, right? If you were selling 100 houses a year, you wouldn't do business with me because you'd already have your client base built together. So that's why it's so important that you tell them up front. You have a meeting with them up front and let them know. Because you know what? You're doing yourself a service and you're doing them a service. Because you don't want to get 2 months into your game plan with this agent and then them pull out on you. All right? You want to build a long-term team. And I can promise you, I went through a lot of agents to find the ones that I still work with today. So you got to go out there and make it happen. Here's some resources. Realtor.com is how we start pre-screening the agents that we're looking for in different markets. So if I'm moving into, Amarillo, Texas is a market we're looking at right now. If I'm looking at Amarillo, Texas, then I'm going to go to Realtor.com and I'm going to search keywords for investor investments. And then it's going to bring me up every realtor that's on there that has that in their description. And then what am I going to do? I'm going to use a voice recorded message, or I'm going to show you guys how to do a voice recorded postcard. And you can send that through their coded email address. So when they open it up, it's literally you on there going, hey, my name is Zack Childress. I'm an investor looking at investing in your market. I'd love to have a meeting with you if you're taking on new investors. I like to buy multiple houses a year, and I have a unique approach to this investing style, right? And then the ones who call me back are what? Motivated. Yeah. Is that a good way to go about it? Yeah, because you're basically filtering through a lot of the no's right away. So we also are always a fan of REI clubs all over. I love going to them even to this day because, there's always something new or different with the approach. So Now you got to be careful. The one reasons I say that going to them is a good thing is because guess what most agents are that are in this room right now? They're investors, or they're investor friendly, okay? Which means they understand what we're doing. If you just approach an agent and the first thing I say to them is, do you work with investors? Absolutely. They're all going to, an investor. Great. What kind of investors do you work with? People who are looking for cash flow. Great. Do you ever sell properties at 50 cents on the dollar to investors? Oh, you can't do that. See you later. The key to interview is what we call qualifying questions. Qualify them up front. Don't waste time with them. You know what I mean? Ask them questions that are going to qualify them. For instance, how many investors do you work with? What type of investors? Do the investors you work with pay 50 cents on the dollar for properties? Have you ever worked with a wholesale investor? These are all very important questions that some of you may be, terrified to ask, but you have to ask them. Okay? One of the best things I try not to laugh, but a lot of times I do laugh, is I'll say, do you work with wholesalers? Oh yeah, I know a lot of people who package houses up and sell them out. I'm like, okay. Have a good day. But if I run into an agent and I say, do you work with wholesalers? Yeah, it's a unique model. It doesn't really work in our area, but yeah, I know some people who do that. Well, then I know that they understand the game, and I'll always rebuttal that with, well, why doesn't it work in your area? Have you tried it? Well, no, it's just they didn't have much success. Well, can you tell me what they were doing? I have a very unique approach to things, and I'd like to sit down with you and explain how I can make you a lot of money. Right? What is the most important thing to an agent? They got to pay bills, right? They're starving out there. Why do you think so many agents are converting to investors right now? Because they couldn't make any money, following a 3% commission process. And a lot of them probably got sick and tired of watching us guys make all the money, which I don't blame them. I'd be converting to our side too. But it's something you want to think about. Mortgage brokers are the same way. And we're going to talk about that, but you can find them through mortgage brokers. Other investors can definitely refer you a good real estate agent. A lot of times they live with the scarcity mentality, and they don't want you to have it because that's their funnel. But some will be able to help you out with that. And then contractors will refer you as well. Mortgage broker. When we're looking at mortgage broker, you want qualifying questions as well. You want to be on your game with them, and you want to be looking for experience.